compels us. But my message today is focusing on don't go chasing waterfalls. And you know that's a very popular song from I believe it's the 80s. But I didn't look up the title of the song and what it meant. But to me, the phrase just came to my mind and it just happens to relate to the song. But don't go chasing waterfalls. When you think of a waterfall, there is this cascade of water, right, that flows to some, and it's unending. It's unending, and you don't know where it's flowing to, you know, and where it's coming from. But you know, when you think about a waterfall, it's ever changing. It's never the same. You know, that water just constantly flows, and it's new. It's new. It goes in, it comes in, and it goes out. So it's constantly new. Um, and that is kind of like our experiences, I think, when we are chasing dreams, when we're chasing ideals, when we're chasing hopes that seem unending. You know, hopes, dreams that are seem so distant, but yet so close. You know, and it's not the goal that drives us. It's the journey. It's the journey. It's the anticipation of what is possible. That gives us fuel to continue. And when you meet someone and there's this connection, I believe in our minds we create this image of a reality that seems so real, that seems so possible. Um, and we just are just so fixated on that reality with that person or with those persons that we are constantly in pursuit of it, like that waterfall, you know, chasing the waterfall. And you know, we get to moments in our encounters with individuals whom we have these deep connections with that no matter what the experience, good or bad, we just want to hold on. We just want to fight. We just want to continue. And we always believe that we are working towards some end that's so imminent, but yet it never becomes, it never materializes. You know, and that's what it's like chasing a waterfall, because you can't control a waterfall. You know what I mean? The water is just constantly cascading, and it's constantly flowing, and it's unending. It's unending source of life, of energy, of a momentum that is so powerful that you can't stop it, you know. And I believe that's what love is. It's like this force within us that connects, that wants to connect, that wants to receive, and it's searching for a source, you know. And we have to be careful. We have to be careful where it flows to, you know, and where it's flowing from, because, you know, this love that we seek is strongly influenced by our past and the love we have received from significant others, like our parents, like our partners, or our boyfriends, girlfriends, our friends, family members. The love that we seek is strongly influenced by the love that we have received from our past, and sometimes it's distorted. You know, what we perceive as love or perceived as love wasn't love. You know, because it hurt. It damaged us in some way. And true love should never hurt. Yes, you're going to have moments of disappointment and disagreement, but true love should heal. True love should bring restoration. A true love should bring a sense of calm and peace, even in the midst of storms, in the midst of chaos. It's a calming force that uplifts us, that helps us to continue on, you know, to believe in what's possible, to believe in the best and not the worst, you know. Um, but when we come from a history of hurt love, it leaves this mark on us that filters our perception, and so when we encounter people, um, and we begin to feel this love emotion with these individuals, it what end up happening is we move forward in a love that can be very distorted. It can be very obsessive. It can be very unhealthy and toxic, you know. And we tend to get into these relationships to become very toxic with individuals who are just as broken as we are. And then there's this codependency because there's this need that we can try to make this work. We can look beyond the lies, the deception, the cheating, the abuse. We can look beyond, the hope that it one day will get better. But there is hope for individuals who have had experiences in the past of hurt love. But it has to start with you. You have to start by realizing that you are hurt and that you may never get closure with those individuals who have hurt you. But you can find closure within yourself so that you can heal and move on and experience a healthier, more fruitful, more positive, loving experience. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Don't go chasing love that does not exist. Sometimes we create this reality in our heads, and that just becomes our reality in spite of what's really happening around us. There's this fantasy in our minds that becomes a reality, and that's what we're chasing. It's like chasing this waterfall. This we'll never be able to control it. We'll never be able to find out where it's taking us. We're on this journey, and every day we're waking up, and it's this new experience, that's taking us down a path that's not who we are. That is changing who we are. That's making us weaker, not stronger. And maybe some of you are in a situation right now where, you're allowing your past, these hurts, this hurt love to influence your present and your future in such a way that it's just bringing you down. It's just this weight that it's becoming unbearable, and you're at the moment of breaking. You're at the moment of giving up because you think it's hopeless, that you'll never find that peace, that you'll never find that joy, that you'll never find that love that you're seeking. But I've come to you this evening to tell you that there is hope for you. And that there are people out there, and I had to learn this, who are meant to love you. You know, there are people out there who you can have a healthy love experience with. You don't have to be in these toxic, codependent relationships that seem like love, but really is not. It's just a mirage. It's just someone using you. Or perhaps you're using someone because you don't believe in love, but yet you still have this need to attach. You still have this need to, to have this experience to avoid loneliness. So you settle on one relationship after the other with no meaningful connections with these individuals because you're afraid to be hurt, because that's what your experience has been with love. And so now you've got this defense that you don't allow people to get too close, or when they do, you purposely sabotage to avoid getting hurt. But I'm here tonight to tell you it's time to tear down that wall. It's time for you to experience love in all its pure and beautiful forms. Because you can. Because you can. And you're capable, no matter what past you've come from. There's a love that's waiting for you, that's going to heal, that's going to restore, that's going to make you better. And that's my prayer for you this evening. You don't have to chase waterfalls. You don't have to chase this unending dream that seems so elusive. You can experience meaningful relationships. You can experience, you can connect with people in meaningful ways and have meaningful experiences that are going to bring you wholeness, that is going to free your mind from the sick thoughts that are trying to bring down your self-esteem and your self-worth. You are more powerful and stronger than anything that's fighting against you right now, than your past, than the words of other people, their expectations. You are more powerful than you can imagine. And starting today, you can choose to love. You can choose a better love. You can choose a healthier, more meaningful relationship that brings love, that allows you to grow tall and strong. You don't have to chase waterfalls. You can enjoy floating in a stream. You can enjoy having that water just bathe you. You know, to bathe in a love that's wholesome, that's restorative, that is the kind of love you need. And that's the other thing I want to say is, you know, we love in different ways. It's all one love, one source, but many different variations. You know, and the way I need to be loved might be different from the way you need to be loved. And so we have to connect with those people who love us in a way that we need to be loved. Not the way they feel they should love us, but in the way that we need to be loved. And I think that's part of the disconnect, is we are settling on a love that they want to give us instead of on the love that we need. You know, and we need to pursue those relationships, those individuals who love us the way we need to be loved. You know, and it's not that they're bad people or that you're a bad person, because maybe you're loving but not loving the individual the way that they need to be loved, and vice versa. And that's why it's not working out. You know, we have to connect with people who love us in the way we need to be loved, and who we can love in the way that they need to be loved. That's That's the perfect synergy. You know, when you can connect at that level, on that love that is equal, then oh my, there's no stopping how far you can go in that relationship with that individual. You know, and so if you're in a relationship today, if you're and you're perceiving that there's love there, ask yourself, is this person loving me in the way that I need to be loved? Or am I so infatuated with this person that I'm sacrificing the love I need to settle for the love that they're giving? You know, think about that. Because sometimes we sacrifice our own peace and happiness for that of others. As long as they're happy, as long as they're getting what they need, then that's enough. It's not enough. It needs to be reciprocated. It needs to be mutually beneficial. Because if it's not, one day we'll wake up and you have resentment of all those years wasted, you know, and you wonder who you are. You're not becoming better. You're not becoming whole. You know, it's just adding to the scars and this distorted perception of love that perpetuates from one relationship to the next. But it can change because you can change. You can decide. That's your power. You can decide. You know, and I know it may be hard to walk away when you've been with someone for so long. But if you find yourself regressing and not progressing, then maybe it is time to move on. So I'm not trying to bring you down this evening. I'm trying to lift you up. I'm trying to help you look at your life in a different way. That you don't have to chase waterfalls. You know, you can create a new beginning that leads to a happier ending. Because you deserve it. You deserve it. And it is possible. Don't give up on love. Don't give up on love. It's the most wonderful thing when you're with the right person or with the right persons. You know, it can be a wonderful, amazing thing that we all can have and that we all deserve. So please don't give up. Don't give up. You know, your best days of loving can be amazing. Can be even more than you imagined. So I hope this message this evening, you know, touched you in some way. I didn't write anything down. I just wanted to speak from my heart. But I hope that it has put a seed inside of you, planted a seed inside of you, that you're now going to allow to germinate and grow and forever change who you are. And remember, loving yourself is the greatest love. That's where it has to start. Learning to love yourself. That's the greatest love. Because when you love yourself, there's a standard that you hold others to who want to love you. You will never allow someone to love you in a way that you do not love yourself. Because you'll never disrespect yourself. You'll never demean yourself. When you love yourself, there's this expectation, you know, a higher of a oneness of your mind, body, and soul. You know, there's this alignment, and you know what you want. There's no confusion about who you are and what you want out of life. Your expectations, your goals, your standards, your principles. And you won't compromise that for anyone who wants to share your sacred space. When you love yourself, you not only can love others in a deeper, more profound way, but the expectation is that they'll love you the same. And then you can share a life that's truly amazing with these individuals. So I hope this message this evening has given you pause to think about your life, to think about your relationships. And what are you chasing? Are you chasing what is real? Don't waste your time chasing something that's not real. You know, you deserve better. And that's what I want for you this evening and for the rest of your life. So thank you so much for listening. And I hope we talk again very soon. Go live your best life.